Hey everyone, it's Jen the therapist here. Today we're going to be talking about the 4 must-ask questions that you want to ask your partner before moving in with them. These are questions that you're not going to find in any magazine or article online, so you are going to want to stay tuned because they're really important. But before we do that, just hit the thumbs up or the like on this page because I want to make sure that you have access to all of my future videos and tips. So now we're going to get started. The very first question that you want to ask your partner before moving in together is, how flexible is your partner? And no, I do not mean the stretching kind. I mean, how adaptable to change are they? You know, everyone has a certain amount of capacity for change, and you're bound to get into some difficult situations, especially when you move in together. You know, people come from 2 different families and different ways of just being and living, and so you want to make sure that you pick somebody who is capable of change if you disagree on something or if you get into an argument. And if the person doesn't have a huge capacity for change, that's okay too, but then you want to ask yourself, how alike are we? Because if we're really, really alike, then maybe capacity for change isn't that big of a deal. But if you're really different, then I think that that's a really important thing that you want in a future partner. So the second question that you want to make sure you ask before moving in is, how do you deal with stressful situations? And the reason why this question is super important is because, again, you are going to encounter stress. Everyone does. And we all handle it very, very differently. You know, some people go more sort of inward towards themselves and they need some time alone when they're stressed out. Some other people, they don't sleep, they stay up all night. Some people start arguments. Some people just are, you know, begin to chat a lot. So everyone is really different. And it's important for you to talk about that beforehand so that when you or your partner is in a really stressful situation, then you can make sure that you bring each other up in those situations instead of bringing each other down. And before we get to the third question, I just want to remind you real quick, please hit that like button or comment below so that I know about any future tips that you want me to talk about. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. All right, so the third question that you want to make sure you're asking before you move in with your partner is, what do you want for your future? And I know I said that this isn't something that you're going to find in a magazine article, and that's probably something you've heard before, but it is a really, really important question, because if you want different things, then, you know, as much as moving in together is great for right now, it might not be great for the future. And if that's okay with you, then that's awesome. But if it's not okay with you, then maybe it's better to not do that, just so you avoid, you know, any serious heartbreak in the future. And then the fourth and final question that you want to make sure you ask your partner before moving in together is, what kind of communication style do you have? This sort of revisits, you know, question number 1 and question number 2, because you're going to come across situations where you disagree, conversations where you might even get into arguments. And if you have the same kind of communication style, then that's obviously going to be best for difficult times in the future. However, if you have different communication styles, which you probably do because most people have when they first really get together, then that's okay too. But maybe learning how to compromise or how to bend your communication style so that it fits more of your partner's would be good, because then in the future it will help solve and resolve any arguments. So thank you so much. That's it for today. Again, hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you next week for more tips with Jen.